So the first question, which is something that I was going to ask you anyways, is from RMC Mechanical. My buddy Rob, he's been on the Toolbox Talk as well, is why carpentry? Why did you decide to become a carpenter?
So, I mean, I'm going to break this down into two different answers. So, first of all, just why did I choose the trades to begin with is a huge answer. So, basically, what I did in high school, in the later years of my high school career, I kind of sat down and I said, what do I want to do? I kind of had this moment where, what do I want to wake up, and what is the 8 hours that 8 to 10 hours that I work, what is that going to look like? And, I kind of built my career path around that. So I looked at it and I said, well, I really like being outside. I really like kind of not being confined in one area all the time, having, lots of space to just do whatever. And so that was a big part of it. But then also I liked being active. I liked physical activity. I hated the idea of sitting behind a desk. That would be my worst nightmare. So, that obviously axed out quite a bit of jobs. But, also then I looked at, there's so many ways that you can kind of hone in on skills and focus on different things. So that was a big attractive feature for me, was the fact that there's so many different skills in the trades that I could learn. And when you learn these things, you can kind of go wherever with them, which is awesome. So,
Yes.
looking in at just the trades in general, it fit for me. There's so many things I can learn. You're really active, and a lot of the work is outside, so it fit perfectly. And then to choose carpentry in general, I kind of looked at it and I wanted the widest variety. Something that I really struggled with is doing the same thing every day. That is my worst nightmare. And with carpentry, what I found was there's on job sites, carpenters are there from the time that it's a hole in the ground to when the finishing touches are being put on. Like, we do formwork, we do framing, there's so many trim, doors and hardware, like everything kind of along the way is done by a carpenter. So I like the idea of kind of almost nourishing a job site from start to finish, I guess. That really appealed to me. Plus, every aspect of carpentry was just attractive. So yeah, that definitely influenced my decision.
So another question I have here is from Chase Little 1324, and I heard that he's actually one of your good friends. So shout out to Chase. And he asked, what do you think your biggest challenge was for getting that type of job?
Basically, like, the biggest thing for being, getting onto the job site was I am so outnumbered. Like, that's just the fact of it. On a job site, I can literally, in the past year, I can count the amount of women I've encountered on a job site probably on my two hands. There has been a handful of women that I've encountered, and it's so memorable because it's so rare that I can tell you their names, what company they worked for, what they did, what day I was with them, what I was doing, what they were doing. Like, it's such a rare thing that it sticks out in your mind so much. But like, being outnumbered, it can definitely work to your advantage, in the sense that, if you're on a job site with, let's say, 100 guys, everyone's going to remember the one girl. As an apprentice, you're kind of swept under the rug a lot. Like, you don't really get that much recognition.
Right.
But unless you do something really, really bad, but you don't really want to be that, really, unless you're the guy who, like, makes pipes burst or whatever, you don't want to be that guy. But as a female, you're automatically known, which is really great because they can recognize the work that you're doing, the work ethic and all of that. So it's really kind of a benefit in that sense. But when you're outnumbered and you don't see other females on a job site, there's certain things that you kind of have to figure out on your own. And this is a really small example, but I think it really sums up what it's like. So when I first started working, obviously we have to wear hard hats, right? I had no idea how to wear my hair under a hard hat. And I had no other female to look at to be like, oh, that's how she does it. Like, oh, cool.
Right.
Like, I have very long hair, and, I can't put it in a traditional ponytail. Like, you can't drill a hole in your hard hat to put a ponytail through. So I couldn't do that. When I wore a low ponytail, I found that, like, I would sweat like crazy on my neck. So finally I figured out, braids on the sides of my head, or, or even one braid on the one side, like, that worked for me. But kind of that trial and error where I didn't have anyone to look to. So that was definitely difficult in the sense that I had nobody there, you know what I mean? So you can't ask the guys with the short hair how they wear their hair under their hard hat. Like, it's pretty self-explanatory. But yeah,